Hello and welcome to A Word from the Wise, the Solwise Podcast. We come to you at the end of each month and we talk about all things related to the world of Wi-Fi and the internet. We discuss new products and things going on within the industry, and we give advice on how to get the best out of the products that we sell. If you're just listening to us, you can head over to YouTube or Spotify to see the video version of this podcast. And with that being said, please enjoy today's podcast. Hello and welcome to today's unboxing. We are looking at the MIMO-3 and the MIMO-4. So the MIMO-3, the MIMO-4, that is the question.
Yep.
First obvious difference is the shape. We've got the puck style of the MIMO-4 and the shark fin style of the MIMO-3. And today we're going to specifically compare the -17 versions, as they are both 4x4 antennas.
So a lot of people are probably asking, what's the actual difference? And it is, apart from the shape of them, the main difference that we're looking at as well with these is the peak gain in the frequency ranges. So when we're looking at countryside areas, the frequency range is lower. The MIMO-3 prefers a lower frequency range. It's where it's got its highest peak gain, compared to the MIMO-4, which has a better peak gain in a slightly higher frequency range.
Making it better for urban areas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Both offer similar gain at around 6 dBi for the LTE and slightly higher for the Wi-Fi frequencies. Both are IP69K, which makes them super good for use outside. And the MIMO-3 covers more 4G bands, but only just, so there's not much in it really.
It's not a great deal between the two.
No.
There are quite a few variations on how you can mount these antennas. The ideal one is to have it permanently mounted on your rooftop. So unfortunately that will mean, for the brave ones, drilling a hole through the roof of your camper van. While some may not be 100% comfortable doing that, there are accessories available in which you can magnet mount them for both the MIMO-4 and the MIMO-3. They can also be pole or wall mounted. The MIMO, which you can't do with the MIMO-3, is mainly just a surface mounted or magnetic mounted.
So shall we go through what's in the box then to show everybody what those
absolutely.
are? Okay, so with the MIMO-4, you get all of these different mounting options. So you've got your pole mounts, you've got, so this is for pole mount and wall mount. You've got the spigot for putting it through the roof. It also comes with the user guide. The other bits that you'll see listed for it are actually attached to it. So it has a gasket there, 2 gaskets actually, and the spigot fits on the nut that comes out underneath. And then obviously you've got all of your antenna cables here, which are all marked up. So your LTE ones are marked LTE, the GPS one is marked, and the Wi-Fi ones are marked too. It comes with a box of few other bits, just extension bits, and so you can just choose how it's gonna work. And then you've got these other feet, which you can then fit some magnets in as well. So in here is the Jubilee clip and some screws. So that'll be for pole mounting and for wall mounting. And also you can get some optional magnets. You have to pay extra for these. You get a kit of 4 for the MIMO-4 and a kit of 6 for the MIMO-3. And they come like this. So what have you got in your box?
So what I've got with mine is, I haven't actually taken it out the packaging completely because it is threaded through the bottom of the box, but you can see the smaller threaded spigot in there with the cables coming out. The cables also quite tidily packed away in this outer protective sheath, which does make it a little bit easier than routing through. And then exactly the same again with the LTE, Wi-Fi and GPS all clearly marked and labelled. Then we get the extra length, which is 70mm threaded spigot if you've got the thicker roof to go through, the little mounting brackets for your cable tidy, and then also as well, which you'll get in the MIMO-4, for the Wi-Fi cables, you'll need a couple of little adapters to connect to the Wi-Fi connectors on your router.
That is true, they are there.
You've got those in there as well.
2 in here as well for this one.
There is sometimes find it quite handy on the website, along with the user guide, is the drilling template. So if you've got a few extra bits and pieces on the roof of your camper van and you're not quite sure what's going to be the best area to fit it, because there is a fair bit of size difference between the two as well. Got things like a TV aerial already on there.
You can use it to size it up, can't you?
Use
really?
it to size it up, yeah. Some people have also got solar panels that they'll need to navigate around. So it's a good idea. You can print that out. It is the 1-to-1 size. Obviously, both antennas come with 2 meters of cable. I've even had some people say that they've got a 2-meter piece of string, and then really good
Worked out
idea
how it is,
on
yeah.
how far you need to get to come down and join onto your router. So there are quite a few variations of the MIMO-3, and we do often get asked which one is best for me. A lot of that is going to be, what do you want to connect to on your router? To narrow it down, you got the MIMO-3 12, which has got just the 2 LTE cellular cables on there, so that's great for connecting to something like a CR202, for example. In between the MIMO-3 12 and this one, the 317, we have the MIMO-3 15, which has got the 2 cellular, 2 Wi-Fi and a GPS. One other difference between the MIMO-3 12 and the 15 and 17 is the Wi-Fi options that you can get with it as well. So there are quite a few variations of these available. There's quite a few variations of the MIMO-4, which is Louise is going to go through with those for you now.
So other derivatives of the MIMO-4 start at the base level with the MIMO-4-4. That's the baby one. Again, really only aimed at 4G and 5G use and not really the Wi-Fi. It does cover the Wi-Fi frequencies, but it's ideally for use for LTE. We have the MIMO-4-15, which is actually only 2x2 MIMO as well, but it does cover Wi-Fi and GPS. It has the antenna connectors for that. The 17 is this one, which is the one we've already discussed, and then the next one up from that, which the MIMO-3 doesn't have, but it is a -19, which is a 9-in-1 antenna, giving 4x4 on the MIMO, 4x4 on the Wi-Fi and a GPS connection. So that really is the big brother of the MIMOs as it is. It's worth noting they all go from 617 to 7200 megahertz, with the exception of the -4, which only goes up to 6000 megahertz, which is fine really, because that's the one that you're only using really on the 4G or 5G frequencies, not really for Wi-Fi. Going up to 7200 megahertz means that the antennas cover Wi-Fi 7, which is, there's not a lot of call for that at the moment really, because the hardware hasn't caught up with the antenna technology, but it is something worth bearing in mind for the future.
Okay, so yeah, question is, which one is the best? And that is quite a difficult question for us to obviously answer for you. So it is really depending on what you're using it for, where you're going to be about most of the time. MIMO-3 is a bit like me, prefers to be in the countryside. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm a town girl. MIMO-4, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, but if you're not sure, you're still a little bit undecided, by all means, just give us a phone call, drop us an email, and we'll help talk you through it, which one's going to be the better solution for you, for you obviously. Or it might just come back down to, do you want a lower profile one, or do you want the slightly taller one? A lot of it can come down to that as well. Most of them are available in white and black. The MIMO-3 12, worth noting, is only available in white, so that can make a difference for some people as well. So anything else to finish off with?
Well, you know how Poynting sometimes call this one the Badger?
They do, yes.
They do.
A lot of people call it the shark fin, but it's actually part of the Badger set.
Well, added to that, we had a customer that had some badgers in Scotland, didn't we?
Fabulous story. I love this
So
story.
we're going to show you, to finish off, a video that a customer actually did send in to Jen, which is some badgers that are in the dark depths of Scotland, and really proved that this antenna is good for the rural areas.
They did.
And what they did is they put the MIMO-3 antenna on a CR202, which is the new router from InHand, the battery powered one, and it then broadcast it all back to base, as it were. So we will leave you with the badgers over a badger.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching or listening, whichever you chose to do. If you have any podcast ideas for future episodes, please leave us a comment in the section below, or even drop us an email to sales@solwise.co.uk. If you've got any specific questions, again, you can pop us an email across. Don't forget to give us a like if you've enjoyed this podcast, and remember to subscribe so you never miss when we upload. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next month.